Little Italy is dying. That's what they tell you. It didn't just fade away. It was erased. Block by block. Building by building. Someone made the call. Someone chose profit over memory. Someone signed the papers. 10 pieces of Little Italy that vanished. 10 losses most New Yorkers never knew existed. And the 10th? It's still there. Hiding in plain sight. Keeping secrets. 1820s. Lower Manhattan. The area they call Mulberry Bend. It's not Italian yet. It's Irish, then German, then everyone. By 1880, Italian immigrants arrive, fleeing poverty, political chaos, famine that promised opportunity. They get tenements instead. The buildings are packed. 10 people, 12 people, 15, crammed into rooms with no windows. No air, no escape. Journalist Jacob Rees walks through with his camera. He calls it the foul core of New York's slums. He photographs the darkness, the overcrowding, the despair. But the Italians don't leave. They can't. They build community in the cracks, raise families in the shadows. Mulberry Bend was never supposed to survive, but for a generation, it was home. The city would eventually tear it down. But first, the Italians turned it into something else. The year is 1910. Little Italy reaches its peak. Nearly 10,000 Italians, 40 square blocks, 90% of the neighborhood. You walk down Mulberry Street. You hear Sicilian, Neapolitan, Calabrese, not English. The sidewalks are alive. Fruit stands, shoemakers, kids playing stickball. Shopkeeper Antonio Cuneo opens his butcher shop at dawn. Sells pork and beef to the same families every day. Knows their names, their saints, their villages back home. This isn't just a neighborhood. It's a piece of Italy dropped into Lower Manhattan. You don't need to speak English here. Don't need to leave your block. Everything you need, priest, midwife, tailor, gossip, it's all within 3 streets. For the first generation, this is America. Loud, chaotic, tight, but it's theirs. The question is, how long can it last when the rest of the city wants to land? The year is 1926. Neapolitan immigrants decide to take action. They want to honor San Gennaro, patron saint of Naples, protector against disaster. They carry his statue through Mulberry Street, light candles, serve food to neighbors. It's not just about religion, it's about survival. Holding on to something sacred in a city that keeps trying to erase you. The procession is small, maybe 100 people, but it grows. By the 1930s, it's a week long. By the 1950s, 11 days. Lights strung across the street. Sausage and peppers on every corner. Music, dancing, parades. The Feast of San Gennaro becomes one of New York's biggest street festivals. 1 million visitors every September. For the Italians, it's proof. Proof they built something that couldn't be demolished. Even when the neighborhood shrinks. Even when the families leave. Imagine this. You're walking through Little Italy right now, but you're not seeing what was here. You're seeing what's left. It's fragments, because someone decided the rest had to go. Keep watching to see what else vanished. 1950s. Young Italian families face a choice. Stay in Manhattan, cramped apartments, rising rents, changing streets, or move north to a neighborhood in the Bronx called Belmont. Arthur Avenue. They move. Butchers, bakers, pasta makers. They bring their recipes, their traditions, their accents. Mike Greco opens Mike's Deli in 1951, selling mozzarella his grandfather taught him to make, fresh, every morning. The neighborhood thrives, not as a museum, as a living place. You walk Arthur Avenue today, you'll find families running the same storefronts for 70 years. The espresso is strong. The mozzarella is fresh. Many locals will tell you, this is the real Little Italy now. The one that didn't become a tourist trap is not a postcard. It's home. Manhattan's Little Italy became a stage. Arthur Avenue stayed a neighborhood. The difference? One is preserved. The other is alive. Elizabeth Street, 1940s. A kid named Martin Scorsese grows up here. Asthma keeps him inside. So he watches the old men play cards. The women hang laundry between fire escapes. The corner stores, the church bells, the rhythm of Italian life. His parents are strict. The streets are rough. He's a small kid in a big neighborhood, but he remembers everything. Years later, he turns those memories into film. Mean Streets, Goodfellas, Raging Bull, love letters to the world he came from. Robert De Niro grows up nearby. Greenwich Village, Little Italy's edge. Both of them shaped by these streets. The intensity, the family codes, the violence simmering under the surface. What they gave the cinema, Little Italy gave to them first. But here's the twist. The streets they filmed, most of them are gone now. Scorsese made Little Italy immortal on screen, just as the real place was dying. The year is 2024. Italian-American Museum finally opens after 20 years. 55 Mulberry Street. Heart of what's left of Little Italy. Inside, photographs, oral histories, family heirlooms. A suitcase from 1902. A wedding dress from 1935. Director Dr. Joseph Scelsa fought for this. Raised money. Navigated bureaucracy. Watched the neighborhood disappear while waiting. The museum isn't just about artifacts. It's all about keeping memories alive. Because here's the truth. Italian Americans helped build New York, the bridges, the subways, the skyscrapers. But the history books barely mention them. The museum is a defiance, a statement. We were here, we mattered. You can't erase this completely. But it's bittersweet. The museum opened as the neighborhood vanished. Some say it came too late. Others say, better late than never. Either way, it's a monument to something that's already gone. The Mafia. Little Italy and the Mafia go hand in hand. Mulberry Street wasn't just cafes and cannoli. It was also power, control, fear. The back rooms. The restaurants that doubled as meeting places. The codes, the loyalty, the silence. Lucky Luciano, Frank Coslow, Vito Genovese. They walked these streets, made decisions in these buildings, and the neighborhood knew. Everyone knew. Some locals hated the stereotype. We're not all criminals. But some of the darkness was real. The line between community and control blurred. Hollywood borrowed from these streets. The Godfather, Goodfellas, Donnie Brasco. They made Little Italy famous, but also infamous. For decades, Italian neighborhood meant mob. It's a complex legacy. Power, fear, pride, all wrapped in marinara and silence. And even now, long after the family's scattered, the shadow remains. 1970s. Little Italy faces a new reality. The Italian families are leaving, moving to the suburbs. New Jersey, Long Island, Staten Island. Their kids want yards, want space, want to escape the old neighborhood. The buildings don't stay empty. Chinatown expands, north, block by block. Italian landlords sell to Chinese buyers. Italian delis close. Chinese restaurants open. No one fights it. No one can. By 1990, Little Italy has shrunk to a dozen blocks. By 2000, half that. Today, it's 3 streets, maybe 4, depending on who you ask. Canal Street is the border now. 2 blocks north, Chinese groceries meet Italian cafes. Red lanterns next to Italian flags. The neighborhoods don't just touch. They overlap, blend. What was once 40 blocks of Italian New York is now a sliver. The city didn't demolish it with bulldozers. It erased it with economics, and nobody had to sign an order. The market did it for them. In a fading neighborhood, baby John DeLutro chose stay. The year is 1973. He opens Cafe Palermo on Mulberry Street. His cannoli become legendary. The shell, the filling, the powdered sugar. People line up for hours. Neighborhood shifts. Italians' families leave. Tourists arrive. DeLutro doesn't leave, doesn't sell, doesn't cash out. He becomes known as the Cannoli King, not just in Little Italy, worldwide. Celebrities visit. Food shows film there. The line never stops. For 50 years, Cafe Palermo has been standing. One of the last original businesses. It's not just a bakery, it's a memory. A reminder of when every block smelled like espresso and powdered sugar. When Italian New York was everywhere you looked. De Lutro died in 2022, but the cafe remains, still serving cannoli, still crowded, still holding on. The year is 1910. Ernesto Rossi, an Italian immigrant, opens a record shop. It's simple. He sells Italian music. Records from Naples, Palermo, Calabria. Immigrants come in, homesick, longing for the sounds of the villages they left. They buy Caruso, folk songs. Rossi spins records. People are moved to tears. The shop survives through the Depression, through World War II, through the neighborhood's slow death. It evolves from record shop to gift shop. Italian flags, religious figurines, espresso sets. E. Rossi and Company. It's been part of the San Gennaro Feast since the beginning. Over 100 years. Walk in today, it feels like stepping into 1950. The smell, the music, the clutter. A final connection to a vibrant little Italy. And here's the secret. Rossi's shop didn't survive because it was the best. It survived because it refused to change. In a city that devours the past, that's an act of rebellion. So here's the truth about Little Italy. It didn't die. It was pushed out. Some moved for better jobs and more space. But others? They were priced out, sold out, squeezed out. The city didn't preserve it, didn't protect it, didn't even try. Little Italy built New York. The bridges, the subways, the food, the culture. And New York erased it anyway. The question isn't whether the city will keep erasing neighborhoods like this. It will. The question is, what do we lose when we let it happen? 10 pieces of Little Italy, most of them gone. Little Italy isn't what it used to be, but it's not completely gone either. Not yet. Question: what neighborhood in New York do you think will be next? Which community is fighting to survive right now? Drop a comment. Tell us what you've seen disappear. Like New York merch? Check out my design inspired by today's video. Link in the comments. Like this video and subscribe for more haunting New York stories. And if you thought Little Italy's story was haunting, wait until you hear this next story. It's even darker.